Audio test. Okay, well, I sound okay on the stream, so that's good. So let's get to it. I didn't even do qualifying yet, so I guess we'll just breeze through that real quick. We are not going to run a full pace lap.
Drivers, to your cars. Drivers, to your cars.
What the hell is this starting grid? Okay, so you're not going to believe your eyes when you see the first two rows contain Doug Spark and Kevin at a road course.
Kind of fucked up.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to go pee real quick while it waits like 5 minutes to actually start the race.
Okay.
If I remember correctly, last season at this track, my motor blew on the grid, so... Alright, so on the front row we have Steve Inkman and Doug Spark. Second row,
That was Kevin.
Second row is Reno Jackson and Kevin Corbett. Third row, Frank Womack and Rains. Then we got JT Armstrong, Stephen Davis, James DeCourcy and Tony Gunk, Jack Painter in the wrong car because apparently I'm stupid, and Alex Stello. They're rated the same, who cares. Broderick Whitman and Seb Alexander, Dave Daniels and Adam Beresford, Ben White and Mullimer Diggs, Jared Mogard and Alex Krapser, Dwight York and Stephen Lowe, Bobby Farrell and Jared Shadle, John Cheeseman and John Batista, Yuri Rodriguez and Mike Carroll, Joe Polson and Rod Weston, Molitor Hill and Scott Drake, Tony Tonto Jr. and Brian Lowe, Nate Moorhead and Curtis Griffin, Nate Moorhead and Ron Stout, Joe Mersdorf, and that appears to be Gino Sphere, Jackson Vatcher, and Tommy Davis. And you know who's last?
No.
I am!
It's me.
It's me! I'm the last place car!
Yay.
And still like a minute before they're going to start the engines. What kind of topsy-turvy field? Kevin's in the top 4 and I'm last on a road course. Oh, it'll make the race interesting, I hope. Let's see, what, I'm racking my brain. I know there was something I was going to tell you about, and I don't remember what it was. Like, I'm really upset that I can't remember it. So, do you think Red Bull's going to win every race this year?
There'll probably be one, at least one. That they
Yeah,
don't.
that's what I was saying.
Or something stupid happens.
That's what I was saying to somebody. She was complaining that, oh, there's the engine starting. She was complaining that, oh, Red Bull's going to win every race. I'm like, they might, but we said that about Mercedes multiple years, and they've managed to find ways to throw races away by, like, running into each other on the first lap. I always forget that the, like, good 2003 version of Road America still has the bridge at, what is that, turn 12? Whatever the one after Canada is.
Yeah.
Like, that was a cool bridge. Dangerous as fuck, but really cool. Pace cars in, up the hill we go. Right side lane had a bit of an issue there through the last corner. And we are green in the Sargento whatever the fuck it was, 150, 140 something, I don't know. Cheese!
Cheese. Always has been.
Oh, and Seb Alexander is blowing up on the start down the front stretch.
Trouble.
He's pulling off to the side, cars off in the dirt. Man, I can't scroll far enough back to find him. He's going to come to a stop. We'll see if we stay green as Steve Inkman takes the lead, going down the backstretch. Ooh, and Kevin gives a little bump to Doug. And Jack Painter takes to the dirt. But Doug's going to hold the spot. So do you think we're going to go back to Chicago in the future?
Yeah. We're going to Montreal next year, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't see that
I think
announcement.
everybody is.
I didn't see that announcement.
Well, it was a rumor, and then...
I'm here for it.
I mean, Ben Rhodes said it was happening, so I think it's happening.
And whatever Ben Rhodes says is gospel truth.
Well... sounds very likely. I don't know what race it would replace on the schedule.
I'm trying to think of...
I mean, I thought it was going to replace Chicago, but I think there's a good chance that they're going to do that again. I don't know. It's a 3-year contract. Obviously, both sides can buy out the other side. The mayor was kind of like, yeah.
Yeah, politics may shut that race down before anything else. Like, we'll have to see what the local reaction is now that it happened. I did hear, was it true that somebody was killed during track construction?
Yes. Somebody known as MacGyver was electrocuted.
That's... I'm trying not to laugh because it is, in a very dark way, a little funny that someone would be nicknamed MacGyver and get themselves electrocuted building a racetrack, but... Yeah, I'm trying to think what race I would like see come off the calendar for Montreal. Mi- Does Pocono still have 2 dates?
No.
Yeah, I thought they'd lost that second date already. Michigan's 1 date, right? Is New Hampshire's only 1 date too, right?
Yes.
Um,
Yeah, New Hampshire's next weekend.
you mean the weekend after this one? Because this is Atlanta this weekend.
Yeah, the New Hampshire. That's what I mean next. I didn't say this. I said next weekend,
Well,
not this
so
weekend.
to me, this and next mean the same thing.
No, this weekend is
Like
like
the only
the
time,
next.
to me, the only time next does not imply the same as this is if it was Saturday and you said next weekend. Obviously, that's not the same as this weekend at that point. But when
Well,
I
like
say,
if you're gonna,
like, if I
you're
say
gonna-
next Friday, the next Friday that's going to come up is tomorrow, not a week from tomorrow.
that's
So,
this Friday.
yeah, to me, those are the same thing until you're either in them or ahead of them.
No,
If I said
this Friday
this
is Friday,
Wednesday,
next
this
Friday
Wednesday
is
already
Friday
happened.
after this one.
I don't know. It just seems dumb that we have words like that that on face value should mean the same thing. Because, like, when I say next Friday, when is the next Friday? Literally.
The next Friday is
Literally,
a week from tomorrow.
the next Friday you will experience, when is that?
See, that's different in that context, though.
I'm saying, though, that the way that the language is constructed there, I find confusing and stupid. That if I tell you to turn at the next right, I don't mean the one after the next one. It just seems weird that in that context, next doesn't literally mean the next one. I don't know. It's always been weird to me, and I've never liked it. Well, they're closing in on Inkman, but Womack's closing on the pair of them here. Yeah, I'm trying to think of a track that has 2 dates that shouldn't have 2 dates. Or a track that has 1 date that shouldn't even have that. I've got it. They're moving the Clash.
Oh God.
The Clash from Belle Isle in January. Not Belle Isle, Ile de Notre Dame.
Montreal.
I got the wrong Isle. It's Ile de Notre Dame. Yeah, in January. Imagine how bad that would be. I'm trying to think through the rest of the schedule. Like, it would make sense if it was something in the Northeast. Does Dover have 2 dates? They're down to 1, right? I really can't remember.
Yeah, Dover's down to 1.
Yeah.
As far as tracks that have 2 dates, it shouldn't have 2 dates. I think Vegas, basically all the mile and a half. Vegas, Kansas.
You're gonna hate me for this. I'm happy with Atlanta having 2 dates now that they reconfigured it. I like New Atlanta. I enjoy watching it.
I still wish they did that to Texas because people would love
Yes,
Texas.
you are 100% correct.
Leave Atlanta alone.
That if they had done it to Texas and just repaved Atlanta, we would be better off. But it's kind of
Texas is down to 1 date now.
Yeah, it's kind of a new Bristol scenario that if they built that as Kentucky, I would like that track and just resurface Bristol. But
Bristol Dirt's going away next year.
yeah, is that going back
But
to a paved race or is that going to go to Montreal?
My guess is that race is either going to go back to a paved race at Bristol or North Wilkesboro. I'm hoping North Wilkesboro.
That's an idea.
As much as I'd hate to see Bristol lose a date, I'd rather do that.
The racing at Bristol just isn't very good anymore, though. Whereas the race at North Wilkesboro showed potential. It would have been a better race if, like, Kyle Larson had gotten some penalty weight or something. I don't fucking know. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like, Daytona, Talladega, they have 2 dates. I don't want them to lose a date. Wait a minute. It just occurred to me that there's a track that they're not racing at next year that was on the schedule this year.
Auto Club.
Yeah.
That should be replaced with Long Beach.
Okay.
That'd be fine until they get to the fountain and the
No,
fucking
the
hairpin.
fountain's fine. Do these cars have the lock for the hairpin? They probably could if they needed to, but
I'd be doing like 15 through there with the wheel turned all the way to the dude. Fucking if I don't know, it's like we have blower fans in front of our trucks, and if we turn the wheel too far, you're gonna literally tear the hoses off the fucking fans. I don't know how it is for Cup, but yeah, that bitch would be turned all the full lock right. I bought the new Cup car in iRacing, so maybe we ought to take that for a spin.
that's something we could do. I haven't driven it much.
I bought the Chicago Street thing too, and ran like 2 laps and looked around at it. It's like, oh, that's cool.
So when they updated it with the updated layout, one of the first things I did, I went out and went, what's different? They fixed a couple of my biggest complaints. That section about where you were spotting, they used to go the other side of the road there, and as you came out from around the statues, there was just a wall where the median of the road is that was a blunt end at the apex of a right-hand kink.
I think I remember that now from watching onboards. I need to see like pictures or a video to compare the two, but
I bet somebody's
yeah, I think
done
I remember that from the original.
There was a
when the
bunch
thing
of stuff
came out
like
back
that
in
where I'm
20.
like, this is fucking stupid. I still think instead of going around that fucking statue, whatever the fuck that is, that should have just been a straightaway. They would have made that an actual, a much better passing zone, I think.
Yeah, but the problem is that would have been a really long straightaway, and I feel like we already had a bunch of straightaways. They pretty much would have been hauling off into a 90-degree corner doing 170, and that would have been
like they were in 3 other places on the track anyway.
They didn't get going that fast.
That straightaway I think would have been shorter than the back straightaway actually. And
if you count the kink going into turn 4, yeah.
That was not the straightaway I was referring to as the back straightaway.
Oh.
I was referring to that one going into 6. Wherever it was that everybody kept stuffing in the tires without seeming to actually damage the cars any, which was weird. I'm not really sure how Kyle Busch was able to stuff his car that deep in the tires and suffer no ill effects.
Yeah.
And what, Gregson was in there, what, like 3 times?
Yes, several.
Now, what happened to Truex? Did his brakes go or what?
So that was actually pretty cool. He got right up behind us and fucking went to make a move and literally just cooked it so bad into the corner he missed and took Harvick with him. I think it was Harvick.
Yeah, it was Harvick because I watched my fantasy team die at that moment. Somehow I had a terrible fantasy week and I'm still in contention. Don't know how that worked out. I think it's because every other series I did pretty okay with.
So the choose cone for Mid-Ohio is on the little straightaway going into turn 9.
Okay, NASCAR, put the choose cone where IndyCar does the start.
It's on the straightaway between 9 and 10. No, you can't put the choose that early.
You can put it as early as you want. It's
Yeah,
usually
they
right
gotta
after
say
start
double file.
finish. Just do it there between the exit of the keyhole and down to China Beach and it'll be fine.
Oh, so that was the thing about Chicago too. So they did all single file starts in Cup because it was raining.
Yes.
But I did the choose for the Xfinity race, and literally I'm sitting there counting. And were Ryan Ellis like that last night. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 17, and that was our number. And fucking, I let go of the button, and all I'm hearing is green, 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 green. The fucking green came out about the time I got to 13. Like, because the restart zone was going into turn 12.
Yeah,
so,
that restart zone was fucking stupid. Why it was not on the main straightaway, I don't know.
Yeah, so like the choose was stupid when we were back that far. We ended up the other 2 times I did it, we stopped at like fucking 12. Like, yeah, you may be 30th, but we're gonna stop counting at 10 because by then the fucking pace cars already hit pit road.
Yeah, I don't know why they were like the choose should have been on the the straightaway there along the lake shore. I don't know why they. It would be like if they did the choose at fucking Watkins Glen between 10 and 11.
The problem with that was if they did it before turn like 5, I think, there would have been no spotters down to see it. Because the driver was, if I had a map, I could point out for sure what sections. But there were like, after they left 11 and until they came off at 12, there was nobody that could see him. I mean, like it was just. I mean, you probably should have taken like fucking 7 spotters. Should have one each goddamn corner.
Yeah, there are definitely some logistics things I think NASCAR figured out after that first race. It's surprising to me that some of this they haven't figured out. I saw people like, it's the first street race NASCAR's ever done. I'm like, the first street race the
Not
Cup
really.
Series has done since if you don't consider the fucking old Daytona, but also Trois Rivières, guys. Montreal is also technically a street circuit,
Yes.
but I get not counting that one. I'm trying to think. I guarantee there's been some other street race besides that NASCAR's done. I'm sure they've done one with the fucking Euro Series. Like, they should have had enough to have figured this out by now. Also, it's not like IMSA and NASCAR aren't the same fucking umbrella and they can't go over and grab some IMSA guys and go, hey, help us with these logistics. We've never done this before. Because you know who does a lot of street races? IMSA! Well, a lot compared to NASCAR anyway. I'm trying to think how many they actually do it. I think they're down to maybe just one for the main series now. But they still have, like, the Pilot Challenge ran at fucking Detroit. I still haven't watched that race, but I know somebody launched a BMW, or was it an Aston? There was a launching. I don't know. I don't know that it's a terrible idea to go, hey, why don't we do this in markets where there's not a track? Chicago's a weird choice, but also I don't like the Chicagoland Speedway anyway, so I'm not really going to complain that much about it. But it's an interesting idea to maybe run a street race in, like, Seattle or, let's see, where could we use a race? Seattle.
Long Beach.
Well, we already...
Nashville.
We're not doing it in Nashville. We got a perfectly good short track we should be running there.
Baltimore.
Boston, New York City, the Meadowlands.
They never actually raced in Boston, did they?
No, that race never happened.
Dude, Baltimore was awesome. Going over the fucking train tracks.
Jesus Christ, that was such a shit-ass track.
It's just a stupid city to run that in.
There is a YouTube channel, I forget exactly what the name of the channel is, but he does a series called Street Track Failures.
Toronto.
His Baltimore video. Toronto.
Edmonton?
Edmonton, I think they, like, grenaded anywhere that they used to race there, so I don't think you can bring... That was also an airport circuit. Cleveland, yeah.
Yeah, IndyCar Cup doubleheader.
I mean, let's be honest. When was the last time there was a Cup race in Ohio? Has there ever been a Cup race in Ohio? There has to have been.
Somewhere. Like in the 40s.
There hasn't been one in the modern era, though. I'm trying to think of a track in Ohio that they would have raced at in the modern era.
Eldora, Mid-Ohio.
Mansfield.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of a big venue in Ohio. They're really that place where you wanted to break into where they test the tanks.
The Lima Tank Plant, yeah. Let's see, those are all current tracks. Defunct or inactive. There's gotta be one from like some fucking totally obtuse.
Yeah, there's got to be some like pre-modern era track, some dirt track that they ran at in like 1956 or something. Like the Cedar Point Speedway or some shit.
Dayton Speedway, 1950 to 1952, closed in 1982, now the site of a landfill.
Oof.
The fastest half mile in the world.
Did they run?
Dayton Speedway.
Did they run the Dayton 500 there?
That's not confusing.
I bet they did. Actually, it was probably a 200 lap race.
Look it up. I'm going through the rest of the list. I think that's the only one. Yeah. I figured that's what, dirt oval tracks here, there's one there. I figured it'd be some obtuse track. Okay, so they ran Anfield Speedway, Arca and USAC ran on Intermix quarter mile oval until it closed in 1973. Cup ran there, I believe, according to this, from 1950 to 1952. It was the race was called the Poor Man's 500.
Okay.
Fort Miami Speedway, 1951 to 52. Damn, there's a lot of Ohio tracks in 51. That's in Toledo.
What I'm thinking this means is that we really do need a street race in Ohio, or just run mid-Ohio with the Cup cars, but...
Fucking let's... Let's go to Eldora. Make Eldora the dirt race. Put everything there. We'll bring in a bunch of temporary grandstands. We'll fucking sell out of pizza burgers. It'll be great.
Like,
Do
I'm
it.
trying to think of, besides like Eldora, what dirt track I would say, oh, that NASCAR should be at. Like, I liked the Knoxville truck races, to be honest, but let's see, where else? I don't know that Williams Grove would be any better than Knoxville. Oh, I got it. I know where we should be running the trucks on dirt every year. Crandon. That's some real truck stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think of like the big World of Outlaws venues, and I think Eldora and Knoxville are really the big two, aren't they? At least the big two that you'd have any chance of running NASCAR at. Like, they're not going to run NASCAR at I-55.
No.
They're not going to roll into Beaver Dam. Yeah, I'm just now sort of like spitballing places that I'd like to see a NASCAR race. Like, I'd love to see some series run Laguna Seca, but it probably would end up being like K&N West, which is a dead series as it is. And I get around Mike Carroll. Alex is not going forward either, is he? Let's see. VIR would be fun, but the spectator experience there would be ass.
And most road courses are ass for spectators.
There are some that are better than others, but VIR just doesn't really have spectator facilities. Like, Road America's got spectator facilities, Mid-Ohio has some, Laguna Seca's got them. Let's think. Like, Lime Rock doesn't have good spectator facilities. I think that's the thing that would really keep it from being a good NASCAR venue. It's a great track. I still say it might be the best mile and a half in America, but... I am surprised that we didn't see a whole rash of them trying more Rovals, but...
I'm good.
I'll be honest, Homestead might work. Kansas I don't think would work. Like, I'm trying to think of the
Yeah, tear the nose off going up on the banking.
I'm trying to think of the Rovals that would work. I think Homestead could work.
Daytona.
Well, the problem with Daytona is that they had to, like, that stupid ass chicane, like, really ruined the whole flow of the lap for me. I really don't think it was a necessary chicane, but, you know. And now Mike's fighting back.
Yeah, I mean, if the prototypes could do 200 into turn 1, why can't you do it in a stock car?
They weren't going to be doing that fast into turn 1, but...
Right, but you get my point.
Well, and especially the next gen car probably could do it, because those brakes are fucking big boy brakes. Ooh, Dwight York misses the corner.
Portland.
Portland could work. But that's
I mean,
not a
it's hell
Roval.
to go to, but I'm just thinking of tracks at this point. Out of Rovals.
Let's see. Tracks like Pikes Peak ain't gonna happen.
No.
Disney's gone, and was a shitty track
Iowa.
for stock
Let's go
cars.
back to Iowa.
I've never really liked Iowa, and I've made my reasons for that clear. Is that it is too big to be a short track and too small to be a speedway, and just has the worst of both for me.
Oh, maybe they could repave it and add some banking or something.
I would maybe argue if you repave it, take some banking away.
Yeah.
But Richmond's not very good in the current car either, so...
Oh, God, no. Richmond's one of the worst tracks to go to, unfortunately.
It used to be a good track. It used to be a lot of fun.
IRP.
I don't think IRP would be... So, an observation I made. We have a whole bunch of tracks now that have a really dominant highline short tracks, specifically. And short track racing on highline racetracks is not fun because you can't do the classic short track chrome horn thing because you just knock somebody into your way. All you can do is Carson Hocevar him down the front straightaway.
Ah, sliders.
You can't pull off a slider very well at IRP is the issue. And
No, the corners are too fast.
yeah, it's the same thing at Bristol.
I don't understand why. It's like they ground the top at Bristol and then made it grippier up there. So why don't we just ground the whole fucking track?
That's what I'd like to see them do. I'd like to see Bristol just go to one angle where the bottom is the maybe mechanically dominant way around. If they want to put a little bit of, like, you know, sticky shit up a groove to try to get people up off the bottom looking for grip, that's fine. But I would prefer if we go back to a track at Bristol where if you can't get up underneath somebody off the corner, you have the option to give them a bump into the corner and push them out of the groove. That's why Bristol was Bristol, is because you would have these chains of cars forming, and finally somebody would have to say, okay, I can't sit behind you. They'd give them the chrome horn. 100 laps later, that guy's pissed. He's going to fucking give it to you back, and you're banging into each other, pushing people out of the groove. That's what was great about Bristol.
Yes.
Granted, the current car, I don't know how much that would work. I think they're onto something with the current car, that if we put smaller brakes on it and took away a little bit more of the, took away some grip from the tire or something so that you had to have more braking action into the corner and a longer brake zone, that Martinsville, Richmond, and Bristol could get a lot better. Hell, so could New Hampshire. Because it's, when you, also the fucking gearbox, just being able to downshift and make up for missing the groove really makes it hard to pass. Well, JB's starting to work his way forward, but he and Alex have not gotten anywhere at all, and now he's like going to go 3 wide up under the bridge. Here we go. Hot death. Jeez.
Jeez.
Is Wisconsin. I don't know. Like, if they gave me free reign to make some changes to the current Cup car to try to improve the racing, I'm cutting off the diffuser, I'm cutting off the splitter, I'm leaving the small spoiler on it, I'm going to smaller brakes. And we've got a caution. Actually, yeah.
900 horsepower.
Yeah. If we're gonna
1,000 horsepower.
If we're gonna try to run these like choke down motors, we might as well go to a smaller displacement motor instead of just choking down a big motor.
Correct.
So I'd rather we do one of those two things. I think that's in the works. Further on with this car is to go to like a lower displacement hybrid sort of thing, which I'm not opposed to. It seems to work well power plant wise for IndyCar. So let's see, what is this caution for? Oh, we have an accident. Davis and Vetcher get together coming out of Canada corner, and Davis is going for the Suzuki and the tires. Oof. That might be game over for that car. And Inkman's still coming around to take the yellow, I think. Hey, and Womack got around Spark. And now Kevin's going to get around Spark. Or is he? Side by side through the kink. Wow. Spark held onto it and Kevin lost the spot. Oh, and Spark's going to lose the spot here to JT as well. Maybe. Let's see. Does he hold it through Canada? He does, and now Kevin's going to try to go through. Spark going back. Here comes Reno Jackson. Reno, there's a corner there. Let's see. What would be some other fun venues to see Cup at? Yeah, I think Doug Spark might have an engine laying down. Yeah, I don't know. Like I think I've said about Chicago and LA, that I think those are more proof of concept that, hey, we can do this in cities. Like, I like the idea of a non-points race kind of thing like the Clash. I still wish the Clash was a 20-lap race at Daytona right before the ARCA race, but that's neither here nor there. There won't be an ARCA race soon at this rate.
Yes.
But I like the idea of like doing that race and moving it around, kind of like the Super Bowl. Like we'll run it in LA for a few years, and then maybe we'll do it. We don't need to do it in Miami. Miami has a cup date. Let's think of a place in late January, early February that we could run an outdoor or potentially indoor race. You think they could run that like at?
They would be big enough.
You don't think they could run it at? What is that fucking Minneapolis? What the fuck is the name of their stadium? It's not the. It's
fucking Mall America Dome or
it's
something.
It's not the Metrodome. There's I forget whose sponsor is on that.
Yeah. No, I mean.
Is it Target Field?
That's the baseball field.
Okay, then I don't remember.
Yeah, I could think of it.
I don't know. I feel like yeah, there's already a cup race in Vegas. Otherwise, I'd say they could run it at whatever the fuck that stadium is that they used to run Monster Jam at. That's probably big enough.
Not TIA Bank Field. Everbank? US Bank.
There we go. We found it. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. And what am I thinking of? The one in Vegas where they used to run the Monster Jam World Finals. It was fuck. That's gonna bother me that I can't remember the name of that stadium.
Probably whatever stadium UNLV plays at.
I think it is their stadium, but I'm.
Because it's before the Legion Stadium was built. It's probably just like UNLV Stadium now or something.
No, it was named after somebody. I'll find it. Hang on. I'm grabbing the phone. Was it Sam Boyd?
That sounds familiar.
It is. It's Sam Boyd. Yeah, I think that would be big enough to host a cup, but I don't see any reason to do that when you have both the Bull Ring and Las Vegas Motor Speedway not far away.
And Allegiant Stadium.
Well, I don't know if they could do it there. I don't know what the size is. Sam Boyd is bigger than the normal football stadium. At least their footprint there to build something on. I'm trying to think. Like, LA's an okay one, especially with the Auto Club going away. When Auto Club becomes a half mile, I don't know why we're gonna race at the Coliseum, to be honest with you, but.
The Auto Club thing is not even a done deal. I'll probably just back out of that and bulldoze the whole thing.
It's possible.
Fuck 'em.
I'm trying to think of some other like venues that could do a race like that. Like you could do an event like that without it being a football stadium. Like you could find other large venues. Well, Doug's gonna pit, and a lot of the leaders seem to be staying out. Split strategy on lap 14, coming to 15. Like, I mean, you could even, in theory, construct a temporary venue to do a race like that.
And shit, if you're paying to pave a goddamn football field.
Yeah, like, you could just build something completely bespoke for it.
Alt Flats 500.
There we go. I just had the best idea. Okay, we're gonna go out in the middle of, like, Nevada somewhere in the desert, and just go down and back on a road. We'll call it the Desert Bus 500. Well, Doug Spark definitely had some sort of issue they were working on. He's way back now.
They should go from like LA to New York and just have like pit crews stationed across the track.
Okay, like, you say that as a joke. I would legit enjoy a race like that.
Oh fuck yeah.
So, every year, it's the time of year for the Tour de France. I wish there was a coast-to-coast bike race in this country. I mean, obviously there'd be a travel day where you skip some part of the country, but I would love to see that, where every year they alternate which side they start in. So you, like, start in New York and end in LA, and the next year you start in, like, San Francisco and you end in DC, stuff like that. I would love to see a bike race like that. I don't think it'd ever get off the ground in this country, unfortunately, because we don't have the cycling culture the French do.
Yeah.
But I love watching the Tour when I get the opportunity to. Yeah, I'm trying to think of, like, there are definitely opportunities to construct temporary circuits. Like, you could just find a big enough bit of pavement and build, facilities around it if you wanted to. I would not be surprised if NASCAR is exploring the idea of like some airfield somewhere in a major city that really. You know what the one was I was thinking about the other day was Gordon Bennett Field. I think that's the right name in Brooklyn.
Where's that at?
It's in Brooklyn.
Oh.
Yeah, just look up Bennett Field. I don't remember if it's Gordon offhand. I think it's Gordon, but it might be Floyd or some other first name. That like you could, with a little work, smooth it. You know, put a fresh layer of tarmac over some of that and build like a little racetrack and you know have an event. You would technically be in New York City. Like there's parking out there, there's amenities. Like you could make it work. It would probably be exorbitantly expensive for permits and the paving and all the temporary stuff you'd need to bring in, but I don't see why it wouldn't be doable if you had the money and the will. And let's see, Tommy Davis is out of the race, so is Seb Alexander. So 40 cars run here in the Sargento, whatever the fuck mileage this race is.
The Loop 121.
Did you say Zaloop? My brain just processed that.
Loop.
Oh, okay.
Loop. That was what the Xfinity
Oh yeah,
race
what
was
a
called.
stupid name. Alright, coming off the corner. Like, they could not have gotten a Chicago business to put their name on that. Like, it couldn't have been the Pizzeria Uno 120 whatever the fuck, or, let's see, I'm trying to think of something Chicago as fuck. Like, what's the most Chicago business you can think of besides, rum running? And... Green
Portillo's.
Ooh, and Womack gets a good jump. He's going to make a move here into turn one. He's alongside. Sticks it in there. We're 3 wide at turn one. Inkman's going to get forced wide. Armstrong's going to go to the lead. Three wide into 5. Stephen Davis off into the gravel, so's John Cheeseman. Batista up into the top 10 now. We'll see if he's still there at the end of the lap. I think he's going to be. And Bobby Farrell in the pits. I think he had an incident out there on track. No yellow. Yeah, Doug Spark is tailing Charlie on the field now. JT's got a 2-second lead. Reno closing in on Kevin for the 4th spot. JB closing in behind him.
So do you wash your own car?
Usually. Why?
Okay. Because there's actually a decent car wash in town here, and I bought like their, monthly deal.
Yeah.
Their like full deluxe wash is $18. The passing was $46 a month,
It's not bad.
and I can wash it as much as I want.
Is that a machine or a hand wash?
It's a machine, and then I'll like hand touch up spots it misses, which is usually like, so mine's a hatchback, so the fucking back window area it never hits all the way.
Yep, I was gonna say the one time I went to one of those places here, the whole back of the car it just didn't really get.
It does a good job everywhere else. So I mean the wax looks good, the tire shine looks good. The only problem is like the wheels I have, the rims look like bicycle spokes.
Oh,
so
Jackson
really the
into
only way
the
to clean
pits.
those is to get a brush or a rag by hand and go in there between them and clean all of them.
Green flag pit stops.
No machine I've ever gone to has ever gotten those all the way clean. So
yeah, I
did. One thing I will recommend, which you don't have already. You ever see one of those like little arm things that have the pivoting head with the rag, microfiber rag on the end of it to clean the inside of your front windshield? Buy one of those. It was like an as seen on TV thing at Walmart for $15.
Oh,
I bought one.
You mean
Used
like
it to clean the inside of my
you mean
windshield,
like a
and it was
Swiffer?
life-changing. Pretty much.
Oh,
Yeah.
we got somebody blowing up at turn 1.
My windshield was dirty as fuck, and paper towels and Windex just suck. So I used one of them. It's just like holy shit. I can actually see out my window now. It used to be the glare would get so bad, all I see were like smears. It was all on the inside of the window.
Well, Brian Lowe's motor is laid over as he comes down the backstretch. A long way to go to get this thing back around. With cars having just pitted, this might draw yellow. He still seems to be moving, just not very quickly. Let's see if this car gets up this hill. Well, Jackson and Mogart will get around him before this corner. I don't think Whitman's going to. So that might check up Broderick here. Well, he's staying way up over the curb. And Bobby Farrell is out of the race. And the leader is in the pits. I'm not sure about the strategy the AI are doing here. I feel like if you had pitted under that yellow, you were better off than pitting here under the green, but I guess the field spread out so you might not lose all the track position under green. It seems weird to go 2 laps and then pit. That's going to promote James DeCourcy to the lead.
I'm looking forward to Sunday. Day off. Be great.
Yeah, I don't get Sundays off.
Well, it's kind of shitty. My schedule, I was planning this week to just drive myself to and from the track, and I had to go pick up some of the people flying into Mansfield, and now I guess I got to go even earlier and bring the truck drivers to the track because weather canceled unloading today. So instead of just me driving my Focus to and from the racetrack 2 days this week, I have to go to the shop tomorrow, which is a half hour north, so that's an hour total round trip of driving out of the way for me. Go to the shop, get an Expedition, get the truck drivers, drive to Mid-Ohio, drop them off, drive over to Mansfield Airport, pick up the people, bring the spotters to the racetrack, go in, and I'm spotting all day from like 1:30 p.m. to whenever the ARCA race ends. And then I'm going to get a ride with somebody back to the shop, get in my car, drive home, sleep, wake up in the morning, drive back to the shop, jump in another expedition with the 99 tune, ride that to the track, get a ride with my family coming in for the Mid-Ohio race to dinner after the race, eat dinner, get a ride from them also to the Mansfield Airport where I'm going to pick up the same expedition that I had originally that's going to be dropped off and left by the spotters who fly home immediately after the race, and then drive that all the way back to Sandusky,
Okay,
drop that
so
off, get in my car, and go home.
it feels to me with a race that close to the shop that there should be a lot less flying going on of anybody, but okay.
Well, it's Victory Air, so it's like fucking
Oh.
Deegan and spotters and Crafton's brothers coming in to spot, fucking...
Well, the pit stop cycle has now moved me up to 6th. I don't know if all of us that pitted under the yellow can make it. That might be why people waited a couple of laps. It'll be interesting. Haven't gotten to see much of this 90 car this season. He hasn't made a lot of races.
New player.
Wonder who that could be.
It's Dog.
Hello, Alex. Welcome to a race in Wisconsin.
Cool.
You are running in the 30th position right now. Dave Daniels closing in for the lead here. And the 23 is also out of the race. That leaves 38 cars still running. Daniels has cut the lead to under 1 second. He's in DRS range if we had that. Can't wait for NASCAR to try to introduce DRS. That'll go well. God, that's the dumbest idea I think I've ever had. DRS at Talladega down the backstretch. That's a great idea, right?
No yellow line rule.
No yellow line rule. DRS down the back straightaway if you run the second of the guy ahead of you. That basically means you don't want to be the leader at Talladega anymore.
So I went to the Summit Nationals.
Did you have fun?
First time seeing a top fuel dragster go down the strip. It was an experience. The atmosphere was moving in front of me.
Food, water, atmosphere. Oh, Joe Polson wide at turn 1.
It was a good time. I got free tickets Saturday from work after Nashville. So as soon as I got off the plane, drove home, Sandusky, and then immediately drove to Cleveland, picked my dad up, came back to Norwalk, ended up being there till almost midnight because they ran a whole sportsman show after the NHRA shit because Friday got rained out. I saw Tony Stewart make 2 passes all day. I guess that's how drag racing works. I also learned that all tickets are a pit pass, so we walked through the garage area, which is pretty badass. They started a motor, almost choked and died. Should have noticed when the engine guy had a gas mask on that I should have backed up a little bit. But everybody was standing around like, hey, what's going on?
I for a moment thought you were talking about the motor choked and died, not you.
Oh, I choked it. Like, you could taste it. It was in my eyes. It was on my skin. I was like, oh my god, this is... And I can't even describe it.
Zach now runs on nitromethane.
Yeah, no shit. I'm gonna get angry and turn green and start kicking the shit out of people.
No. You're gonna get angry and go screaming down a quarter mile. Actually, they don't do a full quarter mile anymore, do they?
Yeah, they do.
I thought they shortened it.
Norwalk's a quarter.
Oh. I thought NHRA stopped doing full quarters a while
I was
back.
gonna say there ain't no way that thing's getting 330 miles an hour in the 8th mile.
I could look this up, but I don't feel like it. But I thought they shortened it to a round number of feet, just under a quarter.
And to give you an idea, it took me 8 minutes to drive home from the track. If you wanted an idea of how close I am, trip.
Yeah, I was gonna say, fuck you, Wikipedia.
Yeah, like I literally get on Route 20 here. And it's 2 intersections down. Like I'm about to go make this pizza here in a minute. Get kind of hungry.
Oh, there are certain classes, I'll have to do more research, but there are certain classes, instead of doing 1,320 feet, they only do 1,000 feet. So there are some classes in NHRA that are not doing a full quarter mile, but I don't know which ones from this poorly written article.
Huh. But yeah, it was pretty badass. I'd never been to Top Fuel anything, so I was like, pretty sweet. I think next year I can actually get tickets for Saturday and Sunday, so I'm gonna invest in that a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
Sealmaster has a pretty big sponsorship at the track. That's how we got tickets.
Top Fuel and funny car classes only run 1,000 feet as of 2008.
What's that in miles?
So 1,320 is a quarter mile, so they cut 300 feet off of the quarter mile, so it's just under a quarter. I mean, I could give you the exact math, hang on. That is just under a fifth of a mile.
Lame.
So they live their life 0.18999999999 of a mile at a time.
Lame.
As Joel Polson moves into second spot now and begins the chase again. Joe Polson.
What the fuck is that?
The 007 Canadiens car.
Okay, I don't know who that is.
He raced N4 with us for a while.
Never heard of him. Must have been in like the year or two before I showed up.
You ever heard of Dave Daniels? You heard of him, right?
Yes, I've heard a lot of him. I hope he has malaria. I hope he chokes on his own vomit.
What about Stephen Lowe? How do you feel about Stephen Lowe?
I know the guy. I know of the guy. I don't really know the guy.
Okay, let's see who else here is in the top 10. Did you ever race with Alex Stello?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I know the name.
Let's see. Outside the top 10. Frank Womack.
Fuck him.
John Batista.
Yeah, fuck him too.
Kevin Corbett.
Michigan sucks.
Jack Painter.
I just know he submitted an entire car set for a car pack.
Yeah, he did do that once. Stephen Davis.
Interesting guy.
Battle for second is on again. Jared Mogard.
No idea.
Nate Moorhead.
No idea.
He was... You definitely raced with Nate. He was one of my neighbors / friends in college that ran like 10 N4 races. Rod Weston. Adam Beresford. Broderick Whitman. Jonathan Cheeseman. Mike Carroll. Alex Krapser. Brandon Rains, who I really do need to find out if what was it Alex, was it you, JB, or Tony that made some comment that they're not Brandon anymore? I really need to get facts on that so I can correct it if they're not Brandon. Scott Drake, Brian Lowe, and yeah, that's about it of the people that I think we ever actually raced with that are in the Bonanza series. As Dave Daniels moves back into the second spot. Jesus Christ. It was only a matter of time before this happened. One of my friends has posted a picture of himself in a maid outfit.
Oh, you can keep that to yourself.
Oh, I didn't think you needed to see the picture of him in a maid outfit wearing his head and paws. But yeah,
no, I'm good.
the next time I see him, I'm just gonna be like, why? Why did you do that?
Good. I'll pass.
Well, Polson now might be losing a spot to Stephen Lowe. Would you instead like a cute animated GIF of Stitch?
No, I'm good.
What else? What else do I have in my photo reel recently? A dramatic reenactment of our airplane trying to catch fire. Oh no, actually, this one's yeah. You're getting this one. Hang on. There you go. You might get a laugh out of that one. Yes, no, maybe.
I just got it. Oh, there's the name of your Road America race.
The Stay Fresh Cheese Bags 150?
Yes.
I should have done that instead of Sargento, but there's literally a Sargento bridge, so... So it's 11 to go at the line. James DeCourcy still leads. This is a car that I didn't think would be competitive here today, but the field's slowly closing in behind. Oh yeah, like Ben White and myself both picked up about a second on him that last lap, so yeah. It's only a matter of time for somebody makes a move on him. it'll be 10 to go at the line. Still don't know how this pit strategy is going to work out. If these guys leading are going to have to pit again or not. And I've gotten around Ben White, so I'll be in the 5th spot when we cross the line. Dave Daniels ducks out. We got a battle for the lead. Still hasn't finished the job as we come up to turn 3. But I think he's got him now. Is the draft going to bring Stephen Lowe past him too? Door to door for second, now into turn 5. Steven got by him too. Moved to Corsi back to 3rd. Daniel's stretching away now that he's gotten to the lead. Well, that answers that question. Here they all come to the pits. Except for Mulmer Diggs and Joe Mersdorf, who are side by side coming up the hill. And neither one of them got the lap. Diggs noses ahead. Big gap behind Mersdorf, isn't there? Just not even seeing any other cars. Not even hearing him. Let's see, so are these two going to be in on this lap, or are they going a while longer? I'll find out. Round the final corner. Either one of them showing to the pits. Mersdorf's coming in. Diggs staying out another lap. He will lead this one. So there's JT. So he has cycled back up towards the front. But if he has to pit again, yeah, I don't know. He might have to, actually. Got a 16-second gap to the car that hasn't pitted yet. Daniels is. So these guys are... Yeah, the guys who stayed out, I think, did gain a decent amount of time here. Yeah, running long seems to actually be beneficial here. So I think JT's going to be solidly out ahead here when the 40 comes to pit road. So JB's going to be in the top 5 here when it cycles through. But the 40's not coming in this lap either. He's going another. He's going to try to make it a short stop here at the end, isn't he? JT's losing ground. Everybody's losing ground to him, actually. Interesting. Sparks back here real lonely at the back of the field. It's dicey in the mid-pack. Alex is up behind all this and just not getting anywhere. Yeah, Vatcher wasn't wiped out in that crash. He's still going. So I think this is going to work out for Diggs. He's clearly not going to come out the leader. He doesn't have enough of a delta for that. But he might come out well within the top 10. And if the guys who stayed out on the caution have to pit a second time under green here, that's going to cycle a lot of people right up to the front who are kind of mid-teens right now. Let's see, is he going another one? He is, he's going another lap.
New player.
Interesting.
Hello, dog.
How many dogs are there on this broadcast?
Yes.
Whoa. Gap continues to open. This is looking good for Diggs, I would say. So JB is running in the 4th spot. Kevin is 6th. I'm in 14th. Alex is 25th. let's see if Diggs comes in this lap. It'll be 5 to go with the line. He's going another lap. There'll be 5 to go. Did he already pit and I missed it? Can't have, right? Donald pops out on Jackson here into turn 1. Don't think he's got the job done just yet. His camera should be closer to the track. Nope, didn't get it done. Tries the rain line through 3 to try to get a run off. I don't think that worked. Certainly not. Now he's going to have to deal with Sphere. And the 40 is finally in the pits. Let's see where he cycles back out. 4 laps to go. I don't know that we're going to see everybody else have to pit again. And he's on the roll. There goes JT. He's going to come out right with Kevin. Kevin goes past. I think that's going to put him P6 here. We'll see if he's got the pace to come back up here and catch JT. Dave's just gotten ugly for Spark. He's a minute and a half off the lead, having started right up near the front. Not going to help him in his quest to get into the top 20 in points, that's for damn sure. So the real question now is, can JT make it on fuel? If he doesn't need a splash, then he's in good shape for a really good finish, probably a win. We'll have to see what the gap looks like as we watch Womack behind him trying to make some time. See Womack and Batista come around the corner there. Inkman behind him, then Kevin. Yeah, they're a little ways back, but they're not completely out of touch with him. Especially if he has a little mistake. Alright, JT back in the lead, 3 to go. Gap is 4 seconds. Diggs is in P6. If JT just needs to manage this gap and try to save a little fuel here. I think they're okay on fuel, but I'm not that super sure since the guys that pitted under the yellow couldn't make it, and some of these guys pitted the lap after that green came out, so I'm skeptical that they can make it, but we'll see. I've been surprised before by the mileage some of these guys are able to get. And Diggs was much faster than these guys too before he pitted, so he's probably going to get a couple of them here. Kevin should probably be a little worried about it. Diggs seems to be sizing him up, trying to figure out a way around. But he's going to run out of laps here if he's not careful. And you can't just count on these guys having to pit, because Daniels is closing behind you. Daniels doesn't need to pit. Dave's in good shape. You are... Whoa! In fact, Daniels might have gotten tires, so he might have something on you here. It's going to be 2 to go at the line. Two to go. What did the gap do? The gap stayed the same. I think JT's in good shape, as long as he doesn't need to pit. We did see some shocking late pit stops at Lime Rock. Now Diggs made a mistake, and here comes Daniels. Give Kevin a respite. This is looking like it's going to be a really good finish for Kevin. A top 10 on the road course is not what we would have expected out of that team, as Diggs loses the spot to Daniels. So now, if these leaders... If these top 5 need to pit, Daniels will be the one to take over the lead here, but they're only going to get one more chance around the pits for that to happen. I think Daniels just needs to use what he's got and try to pick up some spots, improve his finish. Looking at P6 now, but he's got P5, Kevin, right in front of him. Alright, JT coming around the last corner. Gonna be the white flag at the line. He's staying out, so they've got the fuel for it. White flag in the air. I don't think anybody can reach JT as long as he doesn't run out of gas. So the strategy has, I think, worked out for these guys. This race is a little bit longer. Guys behind would have had a chance. Slight gain, but not enough to really trouble him here. He's still got 4 seconds. Batista might be making a move here for second here at the end. JT's out ahead of this. No threat. We're going to look and see if Batista can get a run, but I don't think he's going to have anything for him here. Diggs is fading back off the back of this. JT seemed a little closer than he had been the past 2 laps, so I think he's alright. I don't hear anybody running out of gas. Down to Canada corner for the last time. Batista's not going to be close enough. JT exiting Canada corner, heading for the final corner. Just needs enough fuel to make it up the hill one more time. Up the hill for the last time, and JT Armstrong is going to win at Road America.
Ooh. Alright, I'm gonna make my pizza. I'll be back in a little bit.
You actually gained time that last lap. Sphere got around McDonald in the late stages. Pushed him back to 14th. Krapser came home in 21st. Jackson faded badly. And Mogard pits on the last lap. He didn't have enough. I don't even know why he bothered. He's not even going to get to his pit stall. I think the 36 might be out of fuel somewhere too. Nope, there he is. And now we're just waiting for Doug Spark to bring up the tail. Where is Doug Spark? You should see him crest the hill. There he is. Disappointing finish to the day for Doug Spark. Something went wrong with that car towards the end. Alright, we're gonna do some points. Alright, and here we have the current point standings. Mullimer Diggs continues to lead, Gino Sphere second. Joe Mersdorf picked up 2. Mike Carroll held his spot, but Tommy Davis moved around and dropped 2. Dave Daniels passed Adam Beresford. Jack Painter passed Ron Stout. Then we got York, Tonto, Weston, Whitman, Vatcher, White, Davis, Gunk, Cheeseman, Drake, and Farrell. Stephen Lowe passes Doug Spark. Kevin Corbett goes around Jared Mogard. Joe Polson picks up 5 spots with a good run. Reno Jackson picks up 2. Nigel and Troy and... yeah, a bunch of spots dropped here. 2 for Nigel, Troy, Sheldrick. 1 for Stapleton. 2 up for JT. 3 up for Inkman, 3 down for McComas. Phillips lost 2, Hawkins down 2. Shadle up 2. Alex Stella picks up 6. 4 up for Womack. Gonna break his way into the top 50 here soon. We look forward to seeing you next week from, where are we going? I already forgot. Where are we going? Thompson it is. We will see you from Thompson next week. Good night, and thank you for joining us.